What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Blacktide TV. With Destiny 2, Bungie has completely re-engineered how we use weapons in their games, or more specifically, they've completely re-engineered weapon classes. The weapon classes we have access to in Destiny 2 are far different from the weapon classes in the original game. In the original game, there were 3 weapon classes, 3 slots that you could use for your weapon. So there was a primary, secondary, and tertiary slot. In that primary slot, your base weapons, so auto rifles, scout rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, that's more or less what it boiled down to. In your secondary slot, you would use all of the extremely abused, very powerful weapons such as shotguns, fusion rifles, sniper rifles. I believe sidearms fell in there as well, and on top of that, swords, but I'm not really sure on swords as they were added a little after I stopped playing the original Destiny during year 3. So swords may be a power weapon, or as they were called in the original Destiny, a heavy weapon, but I'm not exactly sure there. Meanwhile, the power weapons or heavy weapons in the original game boiled down to 2 different weapon classes: rocket launchers and machine guns. Now here in Destiny 2, we still have that 3-slot process. In the first slot, your kinetic weapons, auto rifles, pulse rifles, scout rifles, submachine guns, that's a new weapon class, and sidearms. You can use sidearms as primary weapons now, and then not to mention hand cannons. In your secondary slot, the energy weapons, and that is basically all of the exact same weapons I just mentioned. However, these ones will have elemental effects. In your third slot, that's where all of the abused weapons are going now, and now they can't be abused because they're very, very hard to use, as you need to get the power ammo to use them. In your power ammo slot, you can use shotguns, sniper rifles, fusion rifles, there are rocket launchers, grenade launchers, swords. All of your really fancy artistic weapons go into that power weapon slot. However, there's one outlier here, something that was in the original game that didn't return in Destiny, and I had not noticed this until I was talking with my buddy about it, and he kind of brought it up, and I was like, you know what, I never knew that that wasn't in this game. I totally blanked. I didn't know this. And you may know this already because you probably read the title of this video. Hey Bungie, what did you do with the machine gun class? The light machine guns traditionally have an above average impact and range, a reasonable recoil for its above average impact and range. They had slower handling, slower reload speeds. They're basically light machine guns, right? From every other first-person shooter game, there are light machine guns in every first-person shooter. They were in the original Destiny, and now they're not here. Machine guns first made their debut in Destiny in the power or heavy weapon slot, so they couldn't be abused all over the map. They were very powerful weapons. They could be used to take out a whole bunch of enemies at once in PvE, or you could just load up on heavy ammo and drop all of your ammo on one boss and just completely decimate his health bar. In Crucible, because it was a power weapon, or a heavy weapon I should say, you had to load heavy ammo before you could use it. So you couldn't just use it willy-nilly, you did have to load the ammo first before you could use it on the battlefield, which made it very balanced. So why didn't it return in this game? Why did submachine guns take the place of machine guns? Because they're definitely not the same thing. Submachine guns you can use in the primary or energy weapon slots, whereas light machine guns, they could bring them back and make them a power weapon, though I think there are so many power weapons already that would overwhelm them. Shotguns, sniper rifles, fusion rifles, you barely get to use your power weapon as is anymore, which is a huge letdown. That was part of the fun of the original Destiny, but at the very least, they need to bring back machine guns. Now that I've been mentioned it, now that someone's told me, hey, there's no machine guns in this game, I'm like, holy crap, I used a machine gun all the time in the original Destiny. That was my favorite go-to tactic when engaging enemies. I would have my machine gun in my power ammo slot, and I would just load that power ammo, and I'd drop bosses, I'd drop hordes of thralls running at me. I love the machine gun. It was a perfect power weapon. Now, maybe in Destiny 2, they might nerf the machine guns a little bit, make them light machine guns just to differentiate them between submachine guns, and nerf them a little bit, maybe make them a little bit weaker, a little bit slower, because they were pretty powerful in the original, and make them a primary, a kinetic, or an energy weapon, so that they're on par with auto rifles, pulse rifles, scout rifles, hand cannons, sidearms, submachine guns. That's where they belong, and they definitely belong in this game. So, I don't know, tweet at Bungie and say, yo, where's all of our machine guns gone? Because that was an awesome weapon class in the original game. It's the only weapon class that didn't return, which is very strange. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Did you notice that machine guns were gone? Am I the only one that's like, holy crap, there were no machine guns in this game? Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and check out the links in the description, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.